What's up guys, it's Coach Bachmann and welcome to How to One Arm Handstand. Today I'm going to break down the fundamentals for you and explain to you step by step what exactly you have to do in order to master this advanced bodyweight skill. You see, being able to not just hold, but especially being able to control the one arm handstand for more than 5 seconds is going to help you develop next level shoulder, core, back and even leg strength. Additionally, this skill is going to require focus, upside down awareness and full body control like almost nothing else out there. You see, I first learned to one arm handstand from videos off the web, just like you right now. There really weren't that many people out there who could one arm handstand at that time, and I'd actually get my first couple of holds before I'd even met anybody who had truly mastered the one arm handstand themselves. Depending on your current handstand and fitness level, getting your one arm handstand might take you as little as 6 months, but could possibly also take you a couple of years. You see, just like with any of the other advanced bodyweight skills, such as the planche or the front lever, correct progressions, programming, but especially focus and consistency is going to be key to success here. I truly believe the reason that so many athletes struggle with the one-arm handstand is the same reason why so many athletes love the one-arm handstand. Small details and precise technique are vital to your success. No matter how strong you are, if you don't do this right, you might never get your one-arm handstand. So today, I'm going to break down the one-arm handstand technique for you precisely. I'm going to explain to you the requirements on the body and exactly what you have to do step by step to master your one-arm handstand, just like me and so many of my other students before you. If you're ready to take your handstand training more serious, then make sure you head down to the link below, work your way through the customization and request your free handstand workout right away to put into action exactly what you've learned in this video. The one-arm handstand is an advanced skill. And before we get started with seriously training for the one-arm handstand with the intent of actually getting it, it's important that we make sure we have a proper foundation. So when we're training, we can actually focus on control and alignment. Now keep in mind, the more basic one-arm handstand drills are going to be outstanding to develop specific strength and coordination, which is going to translate directly towards your two-arm handstand training for control and alignment. So no matter where you're currently at in your handstand journey, doing these one-arm handstand drills is going to benefit you greatly. To be sure that you're truly ready to start training for the one-arm handstand, make sure you meet the following requirements. You want to be able to do lateral leg isolations. That's going to show that you have sufficient coordination to be able to figure out the drills for the one-arm handstand, but also it's going to show us that your shoulder is strong enough to resist the pressure of this next level of training. You don't have to be able to do a full range handstand push-up, but being able to slightly bend your elbows and push them back out would be very helpful, as it's going to allow you to catch yourself when doing the drills. Ultimately, you're going to fall less and train more. Whilst the tuck handstand practically has only very little to do with the actual one-arm handstand, being able to do a tuck handstand is going to prove that you have sufficient mobility, coordination and shoulder strength to make it through this next level of training. If you meet these requirements and you're ready to start training, let's have a look at precise technique. Just like in a regular handstand, scapula elevation is going to be key. You have to push as tall as possible. Cover your ears with your shoulders. This is going to give you strength and control, but especially it's going to protect you from injuries. You see, the problem is whenever you sink into your shoulders, they also slide towards the front, placing your wrists under a lot of pressure because the angle in your wrists becomes significantly more sharp. Now, forcefully pushing your shoulders into a straight line is also not going to do you any good. Instead, almost close your shoulders slightly and bring them on top of the center of your hands. And while staying fingertip heavy, push out tall for full control. We're going to talk about leg positions just a little bit later. For the sake of this example, I'm going to open them into a full straddle so you can really see what my hips are doing. Start in a regular two-arm handstand with your elbows locked and your back straight. Step number 1 when transferring over to one hand is to look at the hand. Look at the first knuckle of your index finger and connect the side of your face with your shoulder. Keep this connection the entire time. Step number 2 is to transfer out towards the side. You want to bring your supporting shoulder on top of the supporting hand. Here's where things get interesting. When we're standing on 2 hands, the pressure is in between the shoulders. Most of the heat is going into the anterior deltoid and the chest. As we transfer out towards the side, the weight shifts towards the outside. The outside of your shoulder now takes significantly more pressure, involving your posterior deltoids significantly more. We have to prepare especially for that. A great exercise for that is going to be the narrow handstand. Put your hands as narrow as possible whilst keeping them parallel to each other. Not only is that going to prepare your outside of your shoulders, but also they're gonna get you ready for the way your one-arm handstand is gonna feel balance-wise, as the surface that you're standing and trying to control your handstand on is now significantly smaller. Honestly, the narrow handstand is the closest that you can get to the feeling of the one-arm handstand on two hands. Step 3 is side bending slightly until your opposite hip is aligned with the supporting hand and the shoulder. Now this needs to be effortless and it needs to be without rotating. So practicing deep side bends is going to be essential. Deep side bends often present the first real challenge when it comes to learning the one-arm handstand. You need specific strength, specific coordination, and specific mobility. Start by training these chest to the wall on your forearms. Like this, you're going to be able to cut out your shoulders and simply focus on your legs and your hips. Make sure you keep your scapula elevated so your face doesn't touch the floor. Once you're good with those, move on to the chest to wall handstand, practice your side bends there. Make sure you really isolate the movement between your last rib and the hip bones. You don't want to just rotate your hips in place, but you actually want to draw small rainbows with your glutes. Once you're good doing them chest to the wall, do them just slightly off the wall. Like this, every single time that your hips rotate, your feet are going to touch the wall and you know straight away that something's wrong. Keep your shoulders immobile, look at the spot right in between your hands and focus on quality over depth. If you're lacking middle split mobility and you can't open your legs all the way, train these in a diamond shape. You're not going to be able to make any progress with your side bends with your legs together or in a baby straddle, as your center of gravity is simply too far away from your hands. The next step, once your supporting hand, shoulder and opposite hip are perfectly aligned, is basically a given, and if we were really good at handstands, we could fully skip this step. But for now, you're going to have to push out tall one more time from that supporting shoulder. Important here is that you really push from the supporting shoulder only. For that, you have to be well aligned. Once you're aligned and as tall as possible, it's time for step number 4, the second to last step. Take the free hand, the one that's light by now, and bring it out far towards the side. Here it's essential that your body doesn't move together with that hand. You really have to learn to isolate the movement just with this free hand. You also want to make sure that you stay light on that hand. If you think that you might fall towards the side or that you might break a finger simply by putting down your hand, you're not ready yet for this step, as you don't have enough weight yet on the outside of your hand, on your pinky finger of the supporting hand. In the fifth and final step, the most difficult step, it is finally time to take the free hand off the floor and to nail the one-arm handstand. Now for this, I want you to imagine that your shoulder is the center of a clock and your free arm is the finger of this clock. Don't try to lift this arm away from the floor. Instead, rotate the finger inside of your clock. Rotate the arm inside of your shoulder. It is essential that both of your shoulders stay close to the floor. If you're pulling your free shoulder up and away from the floor, your lat engages, which is going to pull your hips back to parallel and you're going to fall out. On top of that, your shoulder never just comes up, it also comes towards the back, which is why whenever you try to do a one-arm handstand before watching this video, you simply rotate it out because you're not using the right technique. Taking the hand off the floor whilst keeping the shoulder low is not going to be easy. It's going to take a bit of practice and refining. Keep in mind that theoretically you can also simply pull the shoulder up, doesn't really matter, and you can use all the other muscles available in your body to counterwork this action and force your handstand to work anyways. But for most, this is not going to be visually as pleasing, and it's definitely not going to be as healthy or as sustainable. Make sure you practice in a full straddle, as this is going to keep the center of gravity low, and these wide open legs are going to help you balance your one-arm handstand, kind of like the wings of an airplane that stop the airplane from falling over. If you don't have your full straddle yet, practice in a diamond. Do yourself a favor and don't try to advance with legs together or in the baby straddle first. Even if you're saying that right in this particular moment you feel most comfortable with legs together, you have to trust me. Invest into your straddle or in your diamond right away, as that's really where you're going to see fast and significant progress towards the one-arm handstand. And that's it. Simple as that, step-by-step, precise one-arm handstand technique. All you have to do now is take this knowledge, go train, push out tall, and make those one-arm handstand gains. If you have any questions left, or if anything in this video was not clear, then please leave me in the comment section down below, and I'm going to try to help every single one of you guys as good as I can. If you want to learn more about the one-arm handstand, about progressions, and about programming, then make sure you check out my free One Arm Handstand podcast episode here on my YouTube channel. And finally, if you're ready to truly start training for the One Arm Handstand, then head over to my website and check out the One Arm Labs online course. It's a daily, step-by-step program with instructional videos and customized workouts to take you from wherever you're at right now towards the ultimate goal, your one-arm handstand. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for training with me, and I'm gonna see you next time. Let's get it.